What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? Back hurting just from sleeping wrong. How often you have to clean to maintain a clean house. The increasing speed of passing years. Having nieces only makes the problem worse. Their age and the perceived number of years passed doesn't align at all for me. Adults never actually growing up. Deciding what to eat for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. You have to buy insurance, but can never use the insurance or else no one will sell you insurance. Realizing some friends are shitty and you shouldn't be friends with them anymore. Trying to make friends. I lost my wife of 35 years. There's no way to prepare and really no way to describe that loss. The constant obsessive feeling that I'm fast running out of time to have an enjoyable life, even though I'm only in my 20s. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger, I could sleep anytime, anywhere. How expensive lamps are. The endless tiny implications of adult freedom. You have your own medical insurance plan now. You need to pick a primary care physician. Okay, who should I pick? Up to you. But like, where should I start? How do I know which doctor to choose? Up to you. How do other people find one? They just pick the one they like. I don't know any of these doctors. My job is destroying my mental health, but I need a job so I can pay my bills. If I reduce my hours for better work-life balance, I'll lose my insurance during a global pandemic. Falling in love at an older age, but watching life speed by so fast. Wished I'd met her 30 years ago. Going from having tons of friends to really having no one. How expensive living is. I worked all through high school, but my only bill was the gas I put in my car. 30 hours a week on minimum wage goes a long way on shopping sprees and nail salons when you don't have any other expenses. I developed nasty spending habits, not the value of a hard-earned dollar my parents were hoping for. I'm not in crippling debt or anything, but sometimes having to spend money on groceries or utilities depresses me more than it rationally should. How quickly fruits and vegetables actually go bad when you buy them yourself. In my mind, my mama should be about 40. She has always seemed to be so strong, but sometimes I want to fall apart when I see her take several attempts to stand up or make excuses about driving on the interstate. She will be 70 soon, but to me, she is still young. I don't know what I'll ever do without her. Being able to not cook the same meal every day while balancing hundreds of other tasks. I will always admire my mom for how she was able to cook, have a clean house, work 43 hours, and help her children do homework all while taking time to work out at the end of every day. I could mention other common problems like money management and common tasks that I haven't mastered, but what really hit me like a train was the actual transition of adulthood. I'm talking about having to make my own appointments and having to keep tabs on myself instead of handing every single document to my mom. I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. Drifting away from school friends because moving away, but then struggling to make new friends in a new city. It's entirely possible to lose your job through no fault of your own. Having others rely on you as an emotional ballast. I can barely stay sane myself, let alone carry the weight of someone else's sanity. Pain. Arthritis is fucking horrible, and early onset autoimmune arthritis is worse than just having an ache in 1 or 2 joints. I hurt all the time, everywhere, and everyone just assumes you're faking it or you're a pill popper. I'm not going to live another 20 years with this pain like my dad did. Having a presentable place and debating myself on why it matters. It always frustrated me when my parents had a guest over and we had to deep clean the whole house. Like if it's my close friend of 8 years visiting, why do I care what they care about my cleanliness? And yet, every time people are over, I find myself cleaning the apartment up for some reason. Turns out, you get fat from overeating. Losing people, loved ones passing away is the hardest. Then there's the nasty breakdown of personal relationships, family relationships, and friendships. Then there's the sad drifting apart that happens when life takes you on a different path to a person you were once really close to. The lack of time for myself. Life is all work, housework, yard work, childcare, bills, emails, phone calls. When you're not in school surrounded by your peers, meeting new people and making friends is much harder and in many cases almost impossible. And dating is a whole other ballgame. Then again, for a lot of us, that isn't too different from how high school was anyway. Crippling loneliness and romantic rejections. My heart is just dead, and now I feel empty inside. The snowball effect of poverty. Every major bill or unexpected emergency, $500+ takes you back 6 months to a year. It feels like you're on an escalator made of mud. No one telling you to stop procrastinating. How fucking dark life actually is. Like, is this all we do? Just grind away at jobs we try to care about, but no one else cares about, barely able to afford our bills/houses/debts, constantly struggling with relationships and trauma, and watching our political system fail us. Our country fail us. Our systems fail us. Like, this life is not what happy adolescent me dreamed it would be. Sorry to get real dark on y'all. Having to have a genuine purpose in life. just how hard it is to lose weight once you're past your 20s. No one else is going to kill that bug. I was in no way prepared for the fact that one dark, horrific day, I would sit on my own balls, which is definitely something someone should have mentioned. It left me feeling different somehow. Gross pay versus net pay, holy shit. Also, still haven't gotten my first stimulus check, sad face. The utter soul-crushing search for a job. Preparing for retirement. Of course, everyone knows they will stop working at some point, but now that I'm 40, it feels like I really need to get it together. Am I going to continue bad habits that negatively impact my health, or will I finally make changes to be healthier later? My new favorite worry. Will I really have enough money to retire and live comfortably enough to have a good quality life? 10 years ago, this all seemed so far away. Now it feels like I'm speeding to the next phase of my life. Dealing with untreated childhood trauma. People rely on you, both your parents and your kids. You become the filling and a responsibility sandwich, and the weight of it is crushing at times. How ignorant so many people are, and seemingly pleased with being so. Sustaining motivation to continue my responsibilities such as money and shelter. Woman here, random chin hairs, popped up in late 30s. I feel betrayed, being the mature one. Having a gorgeous woman you are crazy about and very turned on by in bed, and having your penis not cooperate. No, it's not you. You're the best thing ever. I'm tired and my chronic pain is flaring up, and I had 3 drinks instead of 2, and I'm in my 30s. Small lead soldier. Fight the good fight. Medical issues and the costs associated with them. I went from a late 20s guy with no issues other than the occasional cavity to a late 30s guy with spondylolysis, OSA, anxiety, RLS, and hypertension in under 10 years. It's crazy that I'm taking medications and trying to improve my health because my doctor said I could die in 20 years if I don't shape up. Seriously, I just want to drink beer, play guitar, hang out with the missus, and maybe smoke some weed now and then, but these last years have hit me like a ton of bricks, and from what I understand, it keeps getting worse. The amount of family get-togethers you don't want to go to after you get married. Basically being alive. No joke, I never planned on living this long. Meanwhile, plan as if you're going to live till 70 so you're not stuck up the creek without a paddle. Stay safe. I love all of you. I have no bloody clue what I'm doing. I surely don't feel like an adult. Being single and childless at 30 doesn't help. Most days, I feel like a kid playing dress-up. I wasn't expecting that. Peeing when I laugh too hard. Hello. How quickly your knees will age. Watching my parents get old. Dusting. It never ends. Trying to find the right job. I'm a very indecisive guy. Hangovers. When I would drink a lot during college, I would wake up the next and feel totally fine. Thought maybe I was immune to hangovers. Then at some point in my late 20s, they started to hit me and hit me hard. Not being able to leave a job you hate because you might just become homeless without it. The depression, dude, the depression, and the feeling of loneliness, even when you have people around you. This gestures at everything. Loneliness, social isolation, a society with less and less human contact almost by the year. The moment you really realize that you'll be working almost every day for the rest of your life. Not that work is bad, but it's a very daunting thought. Adults with the maturity of middle schoolers. How to determine if your partner is enough. Life can be so stressful sometimes that you and your partner do not communicate correctly, and you don't know if it's because you're not meant to be or if you are both just overwhelmed. Well, my dishwasher broke today, only having like 4 hours to myself after work. How am I supposed to beat, pray another 6 times? Still not prepared for death. If anything happens to my husband or my son, I'll just have to shut down and hope my mom or my brother is able to pull him out of deep depression and tell me what to do. The ignorance of people in high places. I used to think at a younger age that someone was where they were due to being the best person for that position or the most qualified. Now I see it's more about who you know, tenure, false perceptions, and ratios to name a few. The hassle of making easy food. It feels so much easier to just go out and get food than to make the food at home. I don't lack food at home, I just can't be bothered to cook it. Upkeep of mental health. The lack of clear objectives in life. As a kid, your parents tell you to do X so you can do Y. School is about chasing grades and measured accomplishments with clear and distinct steps to success. After school, it's all fucking arbitrary. Yeah, people say work hard so you can make money, but there's no clear pathways. Everything seems circuitous, and having goals barely helps inform how to achieve them. Also, you can work your fucking ass off and still be broke. Holding back from murdering my neighbors on a daily basis. Finishing off a good piss, only to zip up and have another 20 drops of piss decide to come out. Buying cheese. Why is it so expensive? And no, I will not get the floppy kind. Widowhood in my 30s. Turns out we don't live forever. And in fact, sometimes don't even make it to middle age. Do the things. Don't wait. How much a workplace full of adults is just like being in high school? That even a moderate level of success would be absolutely bewildering. I'm 34 and have no idea how to wrap my head around the fact that my responsibilities are the reward for not being dead. Deciding what to have for dinner. Every single fucking night. feeling like I had fallen behind. Friends get married, settle down, 2.5 kids and a dog, divorce, remarried, and I'm still at the single person's table at the wedding. Meanwhile, I'm happy with my life, except when I compare it to where I am supposed to be. The constant feeling of loneliness and feelings of inadequacy as you feel life has passed you by and you're not sure why you're still around, but you are just existing and nothing else. Firstly, that you could be whatever you want to be is bullshit career-wise. Secondly, that for some people, despite how hard or smart they work, will be destined to a destitute life of poverty through no fault of their own, no matter what they do, because shit happens. All the DIY you have to do when you own a house. Waking up alone, eating alone, go to work alone, coming home late from work to eat alone, shower and go to bed alone. You can work full-time and still not have enough money for everything you need. I never worried about that as a kid because I always figured I have a good job, and I do. Reading this as a 17-year-old is scary. Coping with mental illness and mental disability. Being a passenger to my life. I feel in many ways, I'm still just a passenger to my existence. Many times, I feel so powerless and unable to affect a meaning change in my life that I'm just watching it go by. I don't feel like I'm good at anything. My interests seem more and more fleeting day after day. I struggle to find a motivation to be motivated. There's so much wonder in the world, and yet I don't feel like I know how to really experience it. There's so many options, and it feels like they're all simultaneously available while being off limits. It just fuels my analysis paralysis, and I stay in my dull loop. I guess this is a TLDR for dealing with depression as an adult and realizing it doesn't just magically one day go away. How quickly fruit goes bad. That the people you love, friends, family, husband/wife, etc., will hurt you in some way. And adulthood is hurting others, and being hurt and compromising your feelings in order to keep those relationships. Because if you don't, those people won't be in your life, and you have to decide what compromise hurts less. When I was a kid, I would cut anyone and everyone out that hurt my feelings or did me wrong in some way. Then I woke up one day with no friends, single, and months of time not talking to family. It's a bitch. Lack of time. I know I have more of it than when I worked and did school, but somehow it feels like I have less. My knees constantly feeling like they're going to fall apart. Honestly, how ridiculously expensive insurance is. If I get hurt enough to go to the hospital, it better kill me, cause there's no way I'll be able to pay that back. I struggle with being the grown-up at work. I was always the young one that people thought was mature. BC, everyone was older than me. One day I looked around and realized I am now the oldest one there, and they all are looking to me as the long-timer. Can't get over that. Sometimes your employer genuinely does not care about you and treats you like a number and not a human. Being one fuck-up from homelessness. Adults who haven't grown up but live near me and are loud and rude, etc. Ingrown hairs on my ass. Sure wasn't quicksand. Looking for a potential marriage partner.